What
But yeah. Yeah.
What's taking the place of weed? I mean, I know you didn't like necessarily rely on it, but when I talked to Bjorn from Soilwork, he talked about these moments of inspiration in the middle of the night when you would wake up, rush to the bong, take a hit, and then go to
Yeah,
bed.
you know, again, it gets so romanticized, right? I think the thing with drugs in general is it's like, I think no matter what it gives you, I think you're compensating for something. I mean, I think I'm compensating. I mean, I'm definitely not on a soapbox saying you should or you shouldn't. It's none of my fucking business, man. Whatever works for you, go, right? But for me, honestly, it's like now I just got too much responsibility, and you know. But the moments that I have that are real now are like totally real. Like, you know, before I'd have these, you know, you get high on mushrooms, you're like, that was the greatest thought of all time. And then 3 hours later, you'd be like, what was that thought? Yeah, it was awesome. But now it's like, dude, we were driving through the mountains on the way here, and there was like this beautiful thing. I was just like, I'm totally here. You know, I totally see that. And it was like for 2 minutes and it was gone, but I was like so present. It was like awesome. I mean, what do? I mean, I play shows. You know, I hang out with folks. I'm like not afraid of people, right? In the way that I used to be when I was smoking, in all honesty, right? And I mean, yeah, dude. And I mean, it's like I'm learning to meditate, but it takes a long time, right? Because my brain's like a mess, right? But I mean, it's like I drink tea. You know, sometimes I'll have coffee, but you know, I eat well, and you know, and I like quiet things. I play guitar. I play bass more than anything else, you know. And I don't know, man. Life's great. It's like I really think that I just got to the point where it wasn't working for me anymore, you know. But dude, my fucking bass player, everybody in my band smokes weed. Everybody smokes weed.
Each his own, you know?
Dude, fuck yeah. And it's like I want my buddies to be happy, you know what I mean? It's not like, whoa, you smoking weed? I'm like, fuck, anybody got weed for these guys, man? Like, they're freaking out. Yeah. So I mean, it's like, again, it's like, you know, it took me a little while to get to the point where I'm like, okay, this works for me and this doesn't work for me. And that's all there is. There's nothing further than that, you know. And in terms of moments of inspiration, it just took me relearning. You know, it took a couple of years of playing like shitty blues licks, you know. Before I was just like, oh wow, you know, it's like, you're not a blues man. Yeah. But I mean, it's like, but then after I kind of relearned the process, it was like a lot easier for me to say, okay, well now what is it that I do, right? When I was smoking weed, I honestly used to sit there with the guitar. I'd wake up in the morning, I'd get like a large Tim Hortons coffee, and I'd have like 9 Hemo bong rips, and I'd sit on my steps. Like in the back of Terrio, there's a picture of me sitting on the steps. I sat on the steps for like a year, just going like. And that's as far as I go, because I'm like, wow, man, the way that note interacts with that one is crazy. You know? But I wouldn't be like, yeah, great, then move on. I'd be like, dude, no, I'm awesome. This is the best riff ever. This is the best riff ever, man. I have to go. Where was I? Right. I think I'm hungry. And then come back after lunch, I'd be like, dude, maybe if I did it up and up. You know what I mean? But now I'm just kind of like, where am I at? Okay, this is what's going on in my life. This pisses me off. This is good. I'm happy about this. This is funny. This pissed me off. This is giving me like anxiety. This makes me want to laugh. All right, pick up the guitar. Where are we at? Okay, it's this note. That's a good verse. Okay, so let's go. And then maybe with that, we'll go to there for the chorus, right? Like right there, I'd say, okay, well, there's your chorus. I don't like that note. I go. That was it. That's okay. So what I do there is I turn on Pro Tools and I go chorus, 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 chorus. And I get the microphone. I'd say whatever that was. I go. Whatever I'm saying, wombi wah, but and eventually I would turn into maybe wonder why wombats don't fly or whatever, right? But I mean, and then you get a verse and you get a midsection, but then I just like I pound it down and then I just get rid of it. You know what I mean? And then like by the time it comes to making a record, I'm like, okay, well I got like 80 gigs of like songs. I go through and I'm like, well, the wombat song's not gonna cut it. Right? But on that other day when I was like, you know, pensively staring out a window at the raindrops, going, woe is me, everything's brutal. Yeah, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that one. I called it Everything's Brutal, right? You know, and then I just record it like with Ghost. Man, I record like 16 songs. We only use like 8, right? But I guess the whole thing now is like I don't get hung up on the riffs as much anymore because I guess I'm not nearly as fascinated with myself as I once was. It's like at one time I was like, dude, you're awesome, man, right? And now I'm just like, as soon as the baby came out, I remember someone just saying like, dude, when the baby comes out, man, you're gonna have an epiphany. Just you wait, man. It's like choirs of angels started singing. I'm like, all right, bring it. Have my catcher's mitt and streamers. And the baby came out, and I was just like, oh, so that's how dudes are made. Oh, this was my fault. Oh, okay. All right. Where's the epiphany? I was waiting. And all of a sudden I realized, because before that I was like, man, I'm so close to figuring out the nature of the universe, man. Something to do with fractals and, the golden mean, and there's like string theory, and then there's something to do with the infinite self, and everything's a reflection of the eternal present. And as soon as the baby came out, I was like, what do you want me to lift? I don't get it. I was just like mentally masturbating because I was trying to get sitting on the rooftop with my buddies going, dude, man, maybe banana peels do dream. Where were we going with that? I have no idea.
So, would you say that Ziltoid is almost a reflection of that past self-masturbation?
Yeah, because you know what it's like? It's like when you do music, it's like I honestly believe that there's no such thing as like an original song. Like this buddy of mine, this older guy, he's awesome. He sent me this, the writer's this dude, Carl Jung, where it's like the idea of the collective unconscious, where like there's no such thing as an original piece of music. It's just always been there. And it's like, and people just like, you connect to it or you don't. And like through the experiences that one person has or another person has, like some people say, okay, well, this is the songs that I get. These are the songs that he gets and whatever, right? But I think it's like if you take interviews and good reviews and bad reviews seriously, then eventually you're just gonna get like hung up on your own trip, and you're just gonna be like, oh, I'm really cool, or oh, I'm a real loser, or whatever. As opposed to like, no, I'm writing music because I really like that note, how it goes into that note. It's like that's the reason why I do it. It's because I like the notes. It's got nothing to do with like the motivation financially or whatever. I mean, it's nice to make a living, but so I think that it's like, Ziltoid is that dude that is like really takes it all to heart. And he's like, oh my god, Like it's like when you get people that are really into music. I'm really into the music, right? But it's like I know who I am, right? It's like I like the Antiques Roadshow, and my wife bitches at me if I don't clean out the cat litter, right? So it's like, so that's me, right? But the music end of it, it's like something you could sit behind Pro Tools and make your sound awesome, right? And put lights and videos and be like, I'm Zeus, but
Ziltoid's just part of your personality, just one point of it.
He's that kind of objectified part that like really wants to believe it because he's like incredibly insecure and he needs that validation from strangers in order for him to think that he's alright. So. But the ongoing saga of Ziltoid is, he's just like, it never goes his way, right? Because
just the fact that he says I'm the best, the greatest guitar player that's ever lived, just the fact that he says it, it's just the fact that,
I can't control the guy, man. I keep telling him, man. I'm just like, you're not that good, bro. He's like, what are you talking about? You're not listening to that. Play this hippie shit. I'll scissor kick you in the throat. So. This has been fun, guys. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You're opening in like 1 minute.
All right. Okay, we got to pack it up, guys. So I'll sign whatever you want here. All right. Cool. Cheers. All right. Would you help, Mike? Yep. Thanks, dude.
Hey, sorry to work you with that camera also.
No, dude.
All the time.
Oh, my goodness.